As dawn broke over Jerusalem, the air felt heavy, as if creation itself sensed what was about to unfold. On the hill called Golgotha, the heavens were already awake. Countless angels stood watching, their radiant forms dimmed by sorrow. They had seen Jesus in eternal glory, worshipped him as the Word through whom all things were made, and now they watched him walk the path of suffering among men. His body was torn by brutal lashes, his face bruised and bleeding, yet his eyes carried a quiet resolve that shook heaven more than any storm. Every step Jesus took echoed through the unseen realm. The angels felt the injustice burn like fire. They were warriors of God, powerful beyond human understanding, and they longed for a single command. One word from Jesus, and the Roman soldiers would have fallen, the crowd scattered, and the cross reduced to dust. Heaven held its breath, waiting. But the command never came. Instead, Jesus moved forward in silence, bearing the weight of humanity's sin. The wooden cross pressed into his wounded back, and with each stumble, the angels drew closer, grieving yet obedient to the Father's will. They understood now that this moment was not about strength, but surrender. This was not defeat, but purpose unfolding. As Jesus reached the place of execution, heaven grew still. The angels realized that love was choosing the nails, mercy was embracing pain, and salvation was being written not with power, but with blood. What they were witnessing would change the destiny of the world forever. The sound of the hammer striking the nails rang out across the hill, sharp and final, echoing far beyond the ears of those standing below. As iron pierced flesh, the earth seemed to recoil, and the angels cried out in anguish. They had watched Jesus calm storms, raise the dead, and command legions of heaven with a word, yet now he allowed himself to be pinned to the cross by human hands. Blood flowed from his wrists and feet, falling onto the dry ground like a sacred offering, and heaven felt every drop. As the cross was lifted and set in place, pain tore through Jesus' body, but his spirit remained unbroken. From the cross, he looked down at the soldiers, the religious leaders, and the mocking crowd. Instead of judgment, his lips formed words that stunned the angels. "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." Never had heaven witnessed love so pure, mercy so undeserved. The angels bowed in awe, realizing this prayer was for all humanity. Darkness slowly crept across the sky, as if the sun itself could no longer bear the sight. The angels saw something no human eye could see, the full weight of the world's sin placed upon Jesus. Every act of hatred, every betrayal, every hidden guilt pressed down upon him. The burden was crushing, yet he remained, choosing obedience over escape. Below the cross, people laughed and mocked, unaware that eternity itself was being reshaped. Above them, the angels watched in trembling silence, knowing redemption was unfolding before their eyes. The darkness reached its deepest hour, thick and heavy, as if creation itself was holding its breath. From the cross, Jesus' voice broke the silence with a cry that echoed through both earth and heaven, my God, why have you forsaken me?" The angels felt the weight of that moment with unbearable intensity. For the first time, the Son experienced the full separation that sin brings. The one who had eternally dwelt in perfect unity with the Father now stood alone, carrying humanity's distance from God upon himself. As Jesus struggled for breath, heaven watched with trembling awe. The angels understood that this suffering was not weakness, but sacrifice. Every second on the cross was a choice, to stay, to endure, to complete the mission of redemption. When Jesus finally declared, "It is finished," his words rang like a victory cry through the unseen realms. The debt of sin was paid. Justice and mercy had met. At that instant, the earth shook violently. Rocks split apart, and the veil of the temple was torn from top to bottom, opening a way that had been closed for generations. The angels saw what humans could not. Death itself had been wounded. Though Jesus' body grew still and his head fell forward, defeat had been transformed into triumph. As his lifeless form was taken down from the cross, sorrow filled heaven, but it was not without hope. The angels knew the grave would not have the final word. They had witnessed the greatest act of love ever shown, and they stood ready for the dawn that was coming, the dawn of resurrection and eternal life.